All right, let's jump right in. You know, when we think about universities, we tend to think about lectures, research, campus life. But what if they could be completely redesigned from the inside out to help solve some of our planet's biggest challenges? Today, we're going to explore a brand new blueprint that aims to do exactly that.
And this really gets you thinking, doesn't it? Are universities these incredible engines of change that we believe them to be? Or could their own outdated structures actually be holding them back, making them part of the problem? Let's dig in.
So first, to really get this, we have to wrap our heads around the sheer scale of power and influence that universities have. And honestly, it's often way more than we realize.
Okay, this is where you got to shift your thinking. A big university isn't just a school. No way. It's basically a mini city. Think about it. Thousands of people, tons of buildings, massive energy consumption, a huge resource footprint. All of this makes them the perfect real-world laboratories for sustainability.
And look, this isn't some brand new idea that just popped up. For almost 2 decades now, huge global bodies like the United Nations have been pointing to universities and saying, hey, you all need to be on the front lines of this sustainability movement. They see them as absolutely essential partners.
So if they have all this potential and there's this big global push, why isn't more happening? Why are so many universities kind of spinning their wheels when it comes to making a real impact? Well, the problem, it turns out, is often coming from inside the house.
See, the problem isn't that people don't care, it's the structure. The efforts are totally fragmented. You've got the engineering department doing one thing, the business school doing another, and campus facilities doing something else entirely, and nobody's talking to each other. They're all stuck in their own little silos. There's no central nervous system, no unified game plan.
And wow, this quote just nails it. When sustainability is treated like some side hustle, some extracurricular club, it's never going to change the core DNA of the institution. It gets stuck on the sidelines, and it can't influence the big decisions that really matter.
But what if you could change that? What if you could tear down those silos and redesign the whole system from the inside out? Well, that's exactly what we're going to look at next, a detailed blueprint for making that happen.
And here it is. This is the Sustainable University Governance Model. The big idea here is to create a kind of central hub for sustainability, one that integrates the economic, social, and environmental pieces to drive change across the entire university. Let's dig into how it actually works.
All right, so let's get inside this model and see how it works. Because this isn't just about creating another boring committee, right? This is about fundamentally changing the way the entire university operates.
The magic word here is hybrid. This is not just another top-down command from the university bosses. Nope. It's designed to be a two-way street. You get the big picture strategy coming from the top, but it's constantly being fed by ideas and action from the people on the ground, the faculty, the researchers, and the students.
And this diagram shows that flow perfectly. You see the arrows? Strategy flows out from the center to the core functions of the university, like education and research. But then, and this is key, the work and the feedback from those areas flows back in, shaping that central strategy. It's a feedback loop where each part makes the other stronger.
And here's the real game changer, structurally speaking. This chart shows a brand new Sustainability Directorate. And look where it is. It reports directly to the rector, the top leader of the university. This is huge. It means sustainability finally gets a permanent, high-level seat at the main decision-making table. It's not a side project anymore. It's a core priority.
Okay, so a fancy plan is great and all, but how do you actually know if it's working? I mean, you can't manage what you don't measure, right? Well, this model has that principle baked right into its core.
The model brings in this really powerful tool for accountability. It's called the Sustainability Impact Assessment, or SEAD for short. And this is all about moving away from just saying you're doing good things and getting into the world of hard data. It's a system for tracking real, measurable progress.
And here's how simple the idea is. This table shows you that the SED tool measures performance across all 3 pillars of sustainability: environmental, social, and economic. And it applies those same metrics across everything the university does. It creates this complete 360-degree view of the university's actual impact.
And the payoff for doing this is just massive. Suddenly, the whole process is transparent, and the university is held accountable. This data allows leaders to look at the facts and say, okay, this is working great, but that's not. It lets them make smart, evidence-based decisions instead of just guessing.
So, this all sounds pretty amazing in theory, right? But how does a huge, complex institution actually start a transformation this big? It's a massive shift, but the research lays out a clear path. It really comes down to a three-part recipe for success. First, you absolutely have to get the leadership on board to champion the change. Second, you got to put your money where your mouth is, provide the right funding and people. And third, you have to get everyone involved, from professors to staff to students. If any one of those pieces is missing, the whole thing could fall flat.
And the paper proposes a really smart way to get the ball rolling. Instead of trying to implement this everywhere at once, which would just be chaotic, it suggests starting with a pilot program. Pick Turkey's top research universities, the ones that are already set up for this kind of innovation, and let them lead the way and serve as a model for everyone else.
You know, when you step back and look at it, this is so much more than just a plan for universities. It's a blueprint for transforming any large, complex organization that's struggling with those same old silos. And it leaves us with this really provocative question. If we can rewire an entire university to tackle sustainability head-on, what institution could be next? A city? A corporation? Even a government? The potential is just transformative.